everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're in a very cozy mood. Today I want to continue my little less is more series and talk about designer stuff that I'm not buying anymore. So this is not your, typical anti-haul where I talk about specific products that I don't want to buy. It's more of a general list of items or product groups that I'm not buying from designer brands anymore. So as someone who takes shopping very seriously and feels very passionate about fashion in general, it's just important for me to share my personal experience and just the learnings that I had in my shopping career so that you have the opportunity to learn from whatever I messed up. So before we get started, if you are new to this channel and you are into, shopping and fashion and luxury stuff, but in a more mindful and sustainable and reflected way, please make sure to subscribe and to hit that notification bell. Also, always leave comments and like and give me feedback so that I know what you actually are interested in and what you want to see from me. Let's get started. So the first designer group that I do not buy anymore is custom jewelry. So I'm not yet rich enough to, afford wearing real gold all the way. And most of the jewelry I own is custom, however, it's not designer. Because as much as I like some designs like the, old Celine knot bracelet and things like that, I sometimes feel that for what you get, these items are extremely overpriced. They are most of the time not even like gold plated, they're literally just metal, and you buy them for prices for which you could actually buy real gold or real silver or whatever it is from a no-name company. Also, a piece of jewelry for me is always or always has been a very personal and emotional item. So every piece of jewelry that I wear, I have a story to tell about it, and it actually has a specific meaning to me. It was just always like that, since I can remember, because I never had a lot of jewelry and I still do not have a lot of jewelry. So that's why I rarely buy jewelry, and if I do, I would rather invest in a real gold item, in a real precious metal, or I will spend way less money and still get something that is custom, but that may, for example, at least be plated with gold or silver or anything like that. There are so many amazing jewelry designers, local or smaller designers out there. I can link some German ones in the comment section below if you want to, get inspired a little bit, that I like. And I just think you get so much more value for your money. So that's number one. Tip number two is kind of hard for me, but deep in my heart, I know that I will not buy sneakers ridiculously overpriced. So what is ridiculously overpriced for me personally? So if a sneaker costs 300-350 euro, this is something that I can still buy into if it's a good design and a maybe also more timeless design that I know that I will wear for 2 or 3 years, because I know that I will not buy another sneaker during that time. However, in times of the dead sneakers and ugly chunky sneakers, prices have skyrocketed so much. I mean, you can buy Chanel or Louis Vuitton sneakers for 900 euros or something, 700 euros. Balenciaga sneakers always cost around 700. And as much as I like those stupid triple S Balenciaga sneakers myself, I never managed to convince myself of buying a 700 euro sneaker. I just can't, I just can't. And that is why I just decided for myself to, put it on the side, just don't think about it anymore, and just to draw a moral line for me that is the maximum price for me that I can kind of justify for myself. So for example, a very simple Saint Laurent sneaker, Golden Goose sneakers, or Acne Studio sneakers are often around that 300 to 400 price range, which is still, of course, a shit ton of money, obviously. However, I still think that you get a very high quality full leather shoe. You get most of the times designs that are more on the timeless side, and I know that I will wear these for seasons and seasons and seasons to go until they literally fall apart and start to look crappy. The only sneaker that I would exclude from that rule is a sneaker that has, you know, crazy embellishment or shearling, like the classic Gucci sneakers with a shearling, because they are fully lined with shearling. It's also on the outside as an accent, and I mean, you can like them or not. When they were fur, I would never bought them, but now that they are shearling, I can kind of justify it a little bit better. So I really like these ones. Also, Gucci shoes are extremely well made in my opinion. I only had the best experience with Gucci shoes in general, so these might be the only sneakers that I would, you know, make an exception for, because you get more than just a white sneaker, but that's actually it. Product range number 3 is designer body care. I'm talking soaps or body lotions or like shower gels and stuff like that. I really like the packaging, I like the branding, I like the smell and the scents of those products, but by the end of the day, most of these items don't do anything more for your skin than your normal drugstore €2 product. I think in this range of products, it's really just paying for the branding more than in any other product range. And that is why I just don't buy that anymore. You know, I don't have to have a shower gel that costs €30 and that I just rub on my body and then just see it drowning into the sink. Like money disappearing in my sink, literally. Yeah, I just cannot justify it. I don't see any value in that personally. It just doesn't give me enough pleasure to justify the price. That is why I just buy all that like basic body care stuff in the drugstore from like natural brands or super cheap brands. It always depends, to be honest. And I really never saw any difference from, you know, creaming my body in Chanel or in, I don't know, La Vera, which is like a German drugstore brand. So yeah, this is a pass for me. Also, I think that if you are into luxury like fashion and beauty, but you don't have like a huge budget, I already mentioned that in my How I Afford Luxury video, I would link it down below. You have to make sacrifices and you have to make priorities. So if you are someone who is totally into like beauty and, you know, body care and wellness and stuff like that, go ahead and buy those expensive things if they give you the value and, you know, the pleasure. For me, that is not the case. For me, it's more the fashion part. So I just, you know, shift my priorities and make sure that I am able to save a little bit of money on that like body care spectrum and invest that into the fashion stuff. Product number 4 is kind of related to my last point. It's designer nail polishes. So as much as I love the color spectrum of, you know, Chanel and Dior and whatever polishes are out there, I just made the personal experience that they just don't work for me, that the quality often is not good. I have kind of weak nails anyway, and they don't hold nail polish very well to begin with. So I find personally that nail polishes by Essie are just working the best for me. They hold up to 5 days, they have extremely good coverage, and they just cost a fraction of what a Chanel nail polish would cost me. So if I see a Chanel polish in a particular color that I love, I will always try to find a dupe for that by Essie, because I just know that I will get much more for my money and that I will be much happier with the Essie nail polish. Product number 5 are designer gloves. So at one point, a couple of years ago, I was kind of obsessed with the idea of getting myself some classic Hermes gloves, and I checked them out in the store. Lucky for me, they didn't have the right ones that I wanted with a cashmere lining in store on that day. So I ended up buying some leather gloves from a brand. It's called Röckel. I think it's a German company. And they weren't cheap, but they were still a fraction of the price that the MS gloves would have cost me. To be very honest, today I am very happy that I didn't buy those MS gloves, because when I actually started to use those gloves that I ended up buying, it's just like, they are just like plain black leather gloves with a cashmere lining, so they are super warm and very soft. And I actually used them mostly when I was driving my car in the morning to work. And I just see that they are great quality, but they still, you know, they crease, they get dirty, especially when it snows. Of course, it's not a big deal because it's leather, you can always, you know, dust it off most of the time. However, I think that items that are highly functional, sometimes it's just better to not spend that kind of money on it. If I think of like scratching of ice from my car in the morning. Do you think I would do that with my Hermes gloves? I don't think so. So yeah, I think the gloves are more of an example for like highly functional items that we need in our lives that don't have to be designer. And talking about leather, that brings me to my next product range, and that is designer leather clothing. So I have a pair of leather pants and I have a leather skirt. The leather skirt is by Aren, a French brand, and the leather pants are by Arma, which is a Dutch brand. And both of those brands are in kind of the mid-range between, you know, the fast fashion and the luxury prices that, you know, can get leather items for. And these items were not cheap. It's not like Zara leather, but still they are in that mid-range, which makes them kind of affordable, and you still get amazing quality for that price. When I take a look at Isabel Marant leather pants and they cost like 2,000 euros or like even 1,000 euros, you know, I just think that these prices are absolutely ridiculous. And the quality increase between a leather pants for like 300 or 400 euros and one for 1,000 is just not in relation to the price. You know, of course the quality might be better, but you know, how much better can it get? Like, seriously. So in general, I think that the magic often lies in these mid-range brands where you get often amazing on-point quality and cuts and designs for a much better price, only because it's not like one of those huge designer houses. Product range number 7 would be trendy bags. I think that right now this whole logo mania trend really like let the it bag as like an item itself just skyrocket. And we see those saddle bags and those Fendi bags literally everywhere. And I personally only bought like 1 or 2 trendy bags in my life, and maybe just one. At one point I had a Drew bag by Chloe and I ended up selling it and getting a fraction of the price back, because those bags just don't hold their value. Also, you just get bored of them very quickly. Most of like those it and trendy bags do not become like an iconic bag for your archive or your collection. They're just not worth the money in the long run, and they start to look outdated and tacky at some point, and then you are stuck with them. It's just an experience that I made for myself. It didn't work. Also, it just doesn't really work with my style. I really appreciate a small but coveted collection of bags that really work for you, that really work for your lifestyle, that are not just beautiful but also functional. And then it can be a designer bag, don't misunderstand me. I'm just not into that whole, oh my god, I need this bag right now mood that is like all over social media and that manipulates us to buy designer bags that just are a waste of money. And the last point on that list is colors, like trendy colors. Unless a trendy color is actually within my personal general color scheme, for example, like, you know, baby pink or something that I actually very much like, and that happens to be, you know, trending right now, I will avoid buying anything in those colors. As I might have mentioned in another video already, I am very drawn to colors. I love vivid and rich colors. However, I learned that I don't want them in my wardrobe, at least most of them, because I grow tired of them very quickly, and I also change my mind very quickly. Like the one day I love yellow, 2 weeks later I hate yellow. It's just something that changes so quickly that I do not buy any vivid or like trendy colors anymore, or at least I avoid them, especially from designer brands. Like the Prada neon stuff, I mean, I love it, I live for it, but would I buy it? No. Instead, if I decide to invest into a designer piece, it's certainly not neon pink or neon yellow, because I know that in the long term it will not go with my style. So this is it for my luxury or designer things that I do not buy. Of course, this is very personal and also very subjective. It's just like my personal list of things that just don't work for me and that I do not want to waste a lot of money on. I hope you enjoyed my video. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and we'll see each other next week. Bye!